Tonight, we start with breaking news. A San Antonio police officer hurt tonight in a car crash.
Yeah, this is happening in the area of Southeast Military and Presa. Our Patty Santos joins us from the scene live. Patty, an officer injured, obviously something nobody wants to hear. How is that officer doing at this hour?
Yeah, the latest from the San Antonio Police Department telling us that that officer is at the hospital, but he is responding. And right now they're checking him for head trauma. But take a look at his cruiser. You can see it right down there. The front of that vehicle crushed. We want to show you some video of Sky 12 just about an hour ago or so. And here's what the police are telling us. This officer was headed westbound here on Southeast Military. According to witnesses, he had his siren and his lights on, and he also had the green light here at this intersection. That is when a truck turning on Presa T-boned him. The driver we know right now of that truck is a man in his 60s. He was arrested for DWI. There was also a passenger inside that truck that had some minor injuries. The real concern initially was for that officer who was he had vitals, but he was not responding. So that's the good news tonight. But the message that San Antonio police have for our community is, if you drink, don't drive, don't get behind the wheel, because things like this is what they see all the time when that decision is made. The intersection right now, it's still flowing some to traffic, but it's still, several lanes are still closed. We're going to continue to follow this throughout the weekend and bring you more on our website, KSAT.com. We'll send it back to you guys.
Glad to hear that officer responding at the hospital. Thank you, Patty. Human remains found in a suitcase earlier this year have been identified tonight.
The Bexar County Sheriff says that the remains are that of 51-year-old Ricardo Saenz. His torso was found in a suitcase in southwest Bexar County back in July. Sheriff Javier Salazar says that Saenz was involved in organized crime and may have been distributing drugs.
A forensics team identified a dragon tattoo on his back. The sheriff says that tattoo led to relatives coming forward to identify him.
It shocks the conscience to hear something like that. You know, a human torso found in a suitcase, advanced stages of decomposition. I mean, it's an ugly case no matter how you look at it.
Now, this week, BCSO investigators returned to the scene where Saenz' remains were found in Von Ormy.
Yeah, the sheriff says that his team was following up on some leads. And while he did not want to talk about possible suspects, he says that there are people of interest in this case. Now let's talk about tomorrow. It marks 1 month since a 29-year-old man was shot and killed, and police still haven't found the person who did it. Yeah, the victim's father spoke to the Night Team's John Paul Barajas about his son and the family's wait for justice.
I just start tearing up, and it's, you know, someone take my son's life. He's very young.
Hyman Lopez was forced to hold a funeral for his son last week. San Antonio police say the 29-year-old was killed behind a Calabro Road laundromat on November 2nd.
I just hope to catch him and they get some leads.
Hyman Jr. was found with a gunshot wound to the head. At the time, police told KSAT they had no suspects and no witnesses.
Guy that doesn't care about nobody, and just, I don't know what to say, just be on the lookout.
The only evidence, security video, but so far no arrests have been made. Now Crime Stoppers is offering up to $5,000 for any information that could lead to an arrest.
Turn yourselves in and just, you know, just stop being a coward.
Hyman Sr. says his son leaves behind 2 young children that he hopes one day will get justice for their father.
I love him, and I just wish we could spend more time with him. Lots of, you know, I wish, you know, we could just hang out some more, and miss him a lot.
John Paul Barajas, KSAT 12 News.
And your heart goes out to that father. In other news tonight, a man charged in a 2017 drive-by shooting that killed a 4-year-old boy is going to head to trial next week. Today, Quentin Phillips rejected a plea deal in this case. He's one of 3 men charged in the death of Earlvion Whitley when the little boy's home was targeted in a drive-by shooting back in July of 2017. 3 years after that, Phillips, along with Terrell Chase and John Chapman, were all arrested. They were all charged in this case. And now that Phillips is going to trial, the jury selection in his case is going to start on Tuesday.
The city has a new tool when it comes to dangerous dogs in San Antonio. Alma Care Services creating a registry for dogs that have been deemed dangerous. Some people called for an official list following an increase in severe attacks over the past year. One of those attacks killed 81-year-old Ramon Najera in February. His son, Raymond Najera, actually pushed for changes after his father's death.
The registry is going to be very, very helpful for if you don't know the neighborhood. Continue to report, dangerous dogs or dogs that are loose.
There are currently 123 dangerous dogs in the city's database. You can search for those dogs by city council districts. Animal Care Services says you can report a dangerous dog by calling 311 or going to the ACS page of sanantonio.gov.
Tonight, the search continues for this man who you see here, Faustino Diaz. He's 25 years old. He's the suspect in a brief standoff that we told you about yesterday afternoon. Now, it happened in an apartment complex on Cripple Creek near Harry Wurzbach Road. By the time SWAT officers went inside one of those apartments, they found that Diaz had already fled. 3 children were inside. Diaz had a number of warrants out for his arrest, and tonight, police are saying that he can add another charge to that list. And this one includes a child injury charge, which, by the way, is a felony.
More school closures could be in the plans for an area school district. During a community meeting this week, South San ISD discussed the major deficit the district is facing unless they take some action. Superintendent Henry Isaguirre actually says he may recommend the closure of West Campus High School during an upcoming December board meeting. In the spring, the board voted to close 3 campuses. Last month, Edgewood ISD voted to close 2 campuses. San Antonio ISD voted to close 15 schools and merge others. Districts point to dropping student enrollment numbers as the reason why.
Soon, more homeless people in San Antonio are going to have a safe place to stay. And that's because starting next week, the Holiday Inn on Cesar Chavez in Santa Rosa will start operating as a shelter. The local nonprofit SAM Ministries is going to run it, and it's going to help the people staying there eventually find permanent housing. That's the goal. Now, when we told you about this Holiday Inn being turned into a shelter, neighbors in that area weren't really happy. A nearby child care center said that it had issues when another nonprofit had been using that hotel also to help house the homeless. But here's the thing now. Things have changed.
He took some missteps, right? So outreaching to the neighbors around this property is work that we should have done in partnership with the city before things moved in the way that they did.
So SAM Ministries says that it's done that. It gave neighbors more information about the shelter, including staff members' contact information. The city of San Antonio, by the way, is using federal money in order to lease that hotel.
Texas must remove the border buoys from the Rio Grande in Eagle Pass. A federal court judge making that ruling today. The 5th Circuit Court of Appeals upheld a ruling earlier this year by an Austin federal judge to remove the buoys. The panel also called the buoys an obstruction, and the state needed permission from the Army Corps of Engineers to install them in the first place.
Texas public schools could get more money for school safety, but that's only if state legislators can get a bill to the governor's desk next week. The Texas Senate passed its version of the funding bill today. We're talking about Senate Bill 5. It would set aside $400 million for public schools. It would also double the amount that schools get for safety improvements. And that money is expected to help districts comply with the school security bill that leaders passed during the regular session. Now, the House has passed its own school security funding bill, but it's stuck in a Senate committee. By the way, the current special session is going to end on Wednesday.
An animal mutilated. Oklahoma State University promising, quote, appropriate action after a dead longhorn found outside a fraternity home at OSU. The discovery at the Farmhouse fraternity comes ahead of Oklahoma State's Big 12 championship matchup with the University of Texas. According to the campus newspaper, the carcass had an expletive carved into its side. You can read more about OSU's statement as well as the fraternity's statement right now on KSAT.com.
Now let's go to your Nightbeat news flash. The federal inmate accused of stabbing former Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin is now charged with attempted murder. According to prosecutors, that inmate stabbed Chauvin 22 times and then told correctional officers that he would have killed him if they hadn't responded so quickly. Chauvin is the officer that was convicted of killing George Floyd. George Santos is out. Today, the House voted to expel the Republican congressman from New York. It's just the 6th time in history that the chamber has handed down that punishment. The vote follows a scathing House ethics report in which Santos was accused of exploiting his candidacy for profit. He also faces 23 federal charges to which he's pleaded not guilty. In response to today's vote, Santos accuses the House of setting a dangerous precedent. Former Supreme Court Justice Sandra Day O'Connor has died. O'Connor was born in El Paso and became the first female Supreme Court justice who was appointed by President Ronald Reagan back in 1981. Here at home, O'Connor High School was named after her, and O'Connor went to that dedication ceremony in Helotes 25 years ago. O'Connor was 93 years old. And that's a look at your Nightbeat Newsflash.
In a matter of hours, city streets will be packed for the annual Rock and Roll Running Series. This weekend's first races actually start at 7:30 a.m.
So you know what that means, right?
Yeah.
Several roads are going to be closed either tomorrow or Sunday. Now, those no parking signs that you see all around there, they're set up around downtown to warn drivers that their vehicles are going to be towed if they park there. Some of those signs, though, are for Saturday. Others are for Sunday. Now, keep in mind, the road closures and the ban on parking is only for a few hours in the morning.
The biggest race of the weekend, the marathon, is on Sunday. Here's a map of the race course. We don't have the map. All right. The 5K and 10K will be held tomorrow, while the half marathon also scheduled for Sunday. You can find those maps and all the information. There you see it. You can find it on KSAT.com.
And of course, when it comes to the running, temperatures and humidity, it's everything. That's what the big deal is in terms of temperatures tomorrow morning. It's going to be comfortable. We'll be fine. We'll be in the upper 40s at sunrise. By 9 a.m., we're at 58. And then by 1 o'clock, we make it up to 70 degrees. If you're running the full marathon on Sunday, pretty much the same thing, just a few degrees cooler at sunrise. Tonight, it was all about the sunset. We'll look at that and talk more about our temperature spread coming up.
Thank you, Adam. What's it like to live with HIV or AIDS? On World AIDS Day, people in San Antonio share their stories of the diagnosis to let others know they're not alone.
What was once a death sentence is now just a disease.
People across America working to rewrite the narrative of what life is really like for those living with HIV and AIDS.
And as the Night Team's Avery Everett shows us, those efforts are happening right here in San Antonio on World AIDS Day.
All of these people went through hell and back.
Stories sewn together.
Their struggles and their strife that they went through helped to improve the medications and the treatment that we get today.
Remembering lives lost.
Of course, I get sad at first because I've known so many people that have lost their lives to AIDS.
But recognizing progress made in treatment.
Each and every one of those lives that we lost was another step closer to where we are now.
Friday, December 1st marks World AIDS Day, designated to raise awareness about AIDS caused by the spread of the HIV infection.
There still are a lot of misconceptions and a lot of, stigmatizing views that we face.
More than 4 decades have passed since cases were first reported across the United States. But advances made in that time have changed and even saved lives.
And I'm living proof.
Diagnosed 8 years ago, Aurelio Alcocer says he lives a full life HIV positive.
I told myself that I wanted to become a beacon in the community.
And he's not alone.
I had my own diagnosis in 2015.
Stigmas around the disease
felt a lot of shame at first.
Still remain in some parts of San Antonio.
I see the barriers every day with religion and cultural barriers and things like that.
But advocates say the real experiences of those living with HIV and AIDS should make a difference.
We have the tools to end the HIV epidemic, and again, stigma and fear are the biggest barriers.
The common thread is education.
People living with HIV are just normal, regular people.
These quilts just one step as Alcocer and his team work to change misconceptions about HIV and AIDS. Avery Everett, KSAT 12 News.
Switching gears right now, it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas over at the Bexar County Courthouse. As of tonight, the tree is all lit up for the holiday season. County Judge Peter Sakai, Sheriff Javier Salazar, and other county officials were there for the ceremony, and it was a really nice night to be outside. I mean, I know it was humid, but right now it's 56 degrees out there. Whatever. Let's just enjoy it. It's December 1st. This is what we got to deal with. Right, Adam?
Hey, yeah, I mean, good, comfortable mornings, or comfortably cool mornings, pleasant afternoons is what we're in. And earlier this evening, we had a great shot there from that camera of the sunset and the beautiful, colorful sunset. I have the time lapse for you in a moment. First, let's get to the weekend forecast. Let's get through that. 48 in the morning tomorrow, 75 in the afternoon. Sunday morning, 46 at sunrise, and then 74 in the afternoon. A mixture of sun and clouds, mainly some high thin clouds streaming overhead this weekend and the next several days. And actually a mid-level cloud deck along with some higher clouds up above it really helped us out earlier today in terms of, I should say just earlier this evening, in terms of our sunset. I mean, this was a 10 out of 10. I don't know the last time I gave a sunset a 10 out of 10. I'm a tough judge when it comes to those, but this was a 10 out of 10. I'll step off so you can see some of these photos posted on KSAT Connect from our wonderful viewers out there. You can access these online or through the Weather Authority app. And this is just a sampling of the beautiful shots of our sunset this evening. Here's another vantage point. The time lapse from that camera I just mentioned that we were looking at with our live cam. Notice the sun setting. We get those nice colors reflecting off the base of those clouds. And it's because the edge of this cloud deck was bisecting San Antonio and Bexar County. Here's a look at the visible satellite imagery from earlier today. You can't see this once the sun sets. That's why it ends at 4:30 p.m. But you see the edge of the clouds right overhead, then some high clouds moving in. The high clouds will be pretty dominant in the days ahead, and they also provide spectacular sunrises and sunsets. And I think we're going to have them overhead through about Tuesday or Wednesday of next week. Big picture. Pretty quiet around here. We had some coastal showers earlier today, a little dip in the upper level flow to the west of us. Really not a very active pattern right now, but we are going to see a little trough develop, an upper level cutoff low in Mexico. Sometimes we point these out because they can be good rainmakers. They throw the energy our way and we have all the right conditions. Unfortunately, we're not going to have the right conditions for this one to really have any impact on rain chances. We're looking all the way ahead to this time next week for a shift in our weather pattern. Otherwise, very similar conditions. This time next week, a bigger trough, a big dip develops in the western U.S. That could cut off and start to stir things up by the following weekend, the 9th and 10th, I believe that is. Until then, rain-free. Let's talk temps and dewies. 56 right now, dew point of 45. Nice crisp air, lack of mugginess out there. Feels good outside. Don't have that sticky feeling in the air. And we're not going to. Notice that wind coming out of the north blew away the humidity. A reinforcing shot of dry air as we get into the early part of next week. So dew points down in the 30s and even 20s by Monday in some places. But then the humidity comes back by next Friday, and that could help us out with some of those rain chances by the following weekend. 40s in the morning tomorrow. By the afternoon, we're in the 70s, and this trend is going to persist. Mornings will warm up a little bit through next week, but that's about the only change that's in store for us.
Pretty consistent. Thank you.
All right, a number of high school football teams have their season on the line tonight, Larry.
And 2 area UIL teams advanced tonight. I believe we had 6 games. Davenport taking on Port Lavaca Calhoun was one of those games. This one was close for a while, then Davenport pulled away. Anna McCollum, softball player, well, she made some pretty awesome school history today. Coming up.
The Davenport Wolves, and it's playoffs, and you're watching big game coverage on KSAT 12.
We kick off at the Alamo Dome where the Davenport Wolves played the Port Lavaca Calhoun Sand Crabs in the Class 4A D1 Regional Final. First quarter, Wolves strike first. Tristan Hamlin throws a short pass to Kyler Payne, and he picks up a lot of yards after the catch, and that goes down as a 43-yard touchdown, and it's 7-0 Davenport. Still in the first, Hamlin goes play action, then he throws to Barrett Fallon, and dude is not afraid of contact. Watch this big hit, then he dives in for a 14-yard touchdown. Davenport leads 14-0. The Sand Crabs would tie this 20-all, then the Wolves pulled away from there, winning 55-20.
We just never lost trust in our coaches and teammates. We knew our coaches were going to come together with some second half adjustments, and the defense balled out in the second half and got us the ball back so that we could score.
It was great. I mean, we put in a lot of work all year, so to see it pay off like that, especially in a game like this, is really gratifying.
That gold ball is looking good. Davenport will next play Chapel Hill in the 4A D1 state semifinals Friday night at Baylor. Gupton Stadium and Cedar Park hosted Smithson Valley and College Station A&M consolidated in the Class 5A D1 regional final. The Rangers were down 17-0 before coming back to win. Fourth quarter handoff goes to Cade Spradley, and he rams his way into the end zone. This game is tied at 24-all with 6.5 minutes to go. Then some 2 minutes later, Brad Sowersby scores from 9 yards out for the Rangers, and the comeback is complete. This game really turned, folks, when College Station lost its starting QB to an injury in the third quarter, and they did not score again. Smithson Valley wins 31-24 and will next face Brownsville Veterans Memorial on Friday, December 8th in the 5A D1 state semis. This will mark the furthest a Brownsville team has gone since 1951. Let's go to Texas State, where the Piper Warriors went up against the Liberty Hill Panthers in the Class 5A D2 regional final. Once down 21-0, the Warriors fight back. QB Jake South throws a nice ball to Andrew Grindstaff. Touchdown Piper as they get on the board. Boy, that was beautiful. Later in the half, it's South again, this time throwing to Isaiah Champagne, and he stays on his feet, finds the end zone, and the Warriors trail 21-14.5, but Liberty Hill takes it 28-14. Let's go to Shelton Stadium in Buda, where the Fall City Beavers had their hands full with the Chilton Pirates in the Class 2A D2 regional final. First quarter, Pirates up 14-0 when they get more. The pass goes to Mark Edric Taylor. He cuts inside, makes some battling Beavers miss, and then he turns on the Jets and takes that baby 82 yards to the house. Chilton led 20-0, and they end the Beavers season 53-7. Poth and Tidehaven shaking hands before facing off at Victoria Memorial Stadium tonight. The Pirates scored first. QB Parker Stevens looks to his left, then throws to his right to Aiden De Hoyos for a touchdown, and the Poth Pirates lead 7-0. It's now 21-7 Poth when Gabriel Solansky scores a short touchdown. And Poth leads this 3A D2 regional final 28-7. Let's check out that final score and more. Tidehaven comes back to win 34-28 in double overtime, and Edna beats Blanco tonight 55-13. McCollum High School softball standout America Ramirez was all smiles today because she signed her letter of intent to play for Purdue University, making her the first softball player in Harlandale ISD history to join a team in the Big Ten Conference. How awesome is that? She was surrounded by her family, friends, classmates, and coaches. Congratulations. Coming up after the break, it's game day for the Spurs in New Orleans. In the NBA tonight, the Pelicans beat the Spurs 121-106. San Antonio is now 3-16, and their losing streak is now 14 straight. We'll be right back after the break.